Good morning. How is everybody doing on this wonderful Saturday morning? I hope you are doing so well. It is starting to feel like spring out there. I hope it is where you're at as well. I know it's here in Georgia, finally starting to feel like spring. If you know me, you know I've been bitching about the cold weather for a minute now. So I'm happy to report warmer weather seems to be on the horizon. What is everybody's Easter plans? I might have an Easter-y type vlog on Monday. It's just going to be me and Stephanie and our spouses mostly because my daughter will be out of town, and so I don't know, we're doing not a whole lot for Easter, but we're going to cook something yummy, so stay tuned for that on Monday, most likely. We're probably going to do a short little Easter vlog. But what am I here to talk about? I read my first 5-star plus read of March. So far, the only one. And with only like 2 or 3 days left in March, probably going to be my only 5-star plus read of March. And that is Dance With Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Now, yes, this book is technically qualified as YA, but I absolutely devoured it and loved it. I thought it was so good. You know I love a strong female. That straw is just all up in my shop. You know I love a strong female heroine character, and Cassie is absolutely that character in this book. She is a former street orphan thief, if you would. Her mother was killed or taken, at least. Really don't know, by slave traders, and she has joined the Queen's Guard, and she's a badass fighter, and that is how we are introduced to Cassie of Brightness. And she is on a mission for the Queen to find this war criminal, if you would. And they believe that this war criminal is being housed by the Ballinger family. And the Ballinger family is kind of over this specific kingdom. They're not like the kings and queens. There's a king that's over them, but they are in control, almost like a sheriff of the Wild Wild West kind of thing. Like, they're not the president, but they are in control of this area at this time. And Cassie thinks that she's going to meet with the head of the Ballinger family, this, older man who she has been, the physical description she's been described and by the Queen, and she's just ready to kind of wheel and deal or spy or whatever to find out if they are housing this war criminal that the Queen wants brought to justice. And she gets there, and this head of the Ballinger family has just passed away, like 2 days before she gets there. And one of his sons, Jace Ballinger, is now kind of head of the family. What is it called? Not the pilot, but there's a word for it that they constantly call him. The Padre. The Padre. And he has been named the Padre. And they meet in a very unusual circumstance. She's actually thieving some oranges to give to some travelers. And he kind of goes up to her and accuses her of thieving, and she beats the crap out of him. And she doesn't know who he is. And then they actually kind of have to work together because they both get taken by slave traders. And they end up like shackled together. They get free of the slave traders, but now they have to walk through like 100-mile wilderness to get back to this safe place for the Ballinger family. And they become friends in this 100-mile excursion, and then they become romantic partners. They call it like a distraction, if you would, and they're like, this is just a distraction. This is just a distraction. When they finally get back to Ballinger territory is when they really start having problems again, because all of a sudden, politics is coming back into it what one of them wants and what the other one wants is coming back into it. Trust is coming back into it. Neither of them really trusts fully the other person because both of them are lying in different ways to each other. And so because of that, there's a lot of tension, but they're trying to play to his family like they are together, and it's just really, really good. It's forced proximity for a good portion of the beginning because of that 100-mile trek where they are literally chained together. And then it becomes, I don't want to say enemies to lovers, but in a little bit of a way, it's very enemies to lovers. And it's just really well done. And I read it in 2 days. I couldn't put it down. I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you are looking for a really good YA fantasy romance, pick up Dance with Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. It was a 5-star plus read for me. There's a second book called Vow of Thieves, I believe. And I will be reading it next week. It will be one of my first reads for April. I'm very excited to see where this story continues to go for the Cassie Jace storyline. I'm interested in it. There's also a couple of little subplots that are going on that I'm interested in with his adopted brother and one of Cassie's fellow soldiers. So I wonder if the second book will go into that a little bit more. I'm just really excited to find out where this book's going, where the whole series is going to go with this author. And I've been thoroughly enjoying the books. So yeah, first 5-star plus read of March, and I was needing one. I had one other 5-star read in March, and that was Girl Abroad by Elle Kennedy. The rest of the Elle Kennedys that I read were all a solid 4. Had a couple of 3s thrown in there, and then that one, the 9th house that I DNF'd. But Monday or Wednesday, depending on if I have a Easter vlog or not, we're going to do a March wrap up of everything that I read. It was quite a bit again, so we'll do a wrap up and see where I kind of fell. But I have a feeling, unless the book I'm hoping to finish before the end of the weekend is phenomenal, and I just think it's going to be a rom-com, I think that Dance with Thieves is going to end up being my only 5-star plus read of the month of March, which is crazy because consistently I've had 4 5-star read plus 5-star plus reads in January, and 5 5-star plus reads in February. So for March, either I was being very stingy or I just didn't read that many great, amazing books. But yeah, I love you guys so much. I am traveling this weekend, so wish me good vibes in my travels. My daughter is traveling as well. That's why I'm traveling. And I will see you guys on Monday. Have a wonderful, wonderful holiday weekend. And yeah, love you all so much. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and watching this one. Have a great weekend.